lion's den, but was delivered out by God. An angel sat with him all that night and made sure he was safe. By staying focused on Jesus, he will guide you through your life's lion den. He will be with you at all times. For Daniel was not afraid and put his focus and trust in the Lord, just as we should. Another person who can help you understand why it is important to stay focused on Jesus was Jonah. Jonah was the son of Amittai. He was commissioned by God to go to Nineveh to cry against it because of their wickedness. But instead of focusing on Jesus, in Jonah chapter 1 verse 3, it says that Jonah decides to flee unto Tarshish. He then finds a ship, pays the fare, and goes down into the ship. The Lord then sends a great storm unto the sea. Frightened, the passengers decide to throw Jonah over. It was then that he was swallowed by a big fish. He then began to pray. In Jonah chapter 2 verse 4, it says, Then I said, I am cast out of your sight, yet I will look again toward your holy temple. Some of us will have to go through a storm before we realize that we are off course on focusing on Jesus. When the Lord says go, you must do so, but not on your own time. You must do so on His time. For the Lord never loses sight on us. So why, even for a second, lose focus on His words and teachings? Now, I can tell you how I have stayed focused on Jesus. He has done so many things for me in my family, personal, and school life. There were times I felt there was too much going on, to where I felt I couldn't take it, but I was very wrong. The Lord would never put anything on you that you cannot handle, but you must stay focused on Him. Just as Caleb. In Joshua chapter 14, verse 8, it says, Bless my brethren that went up with me